Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamode Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamode Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
On Plus TV News Now, bandits kill 10, kidnap several others in Kaduna State as over 100 storm Niger community. Burkina Faso junta considers 30-month return to democracy. President Putin puts nuclear forces on high alert, escalating tensions. Good evening. I am Maureen Menong-Izigwe. This is News Now. And at least 10 persons have been killed by unsuspected bandits during separate attacks in Birnin-Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. The bandits also, in retaliation, the bandits were said to have returned to the villages on Saturday morning and killed 10 people, including 6 local vigilante members. Over 100 gunmen have stormed some communities in Lavun local government area of Niger State, killing 8 people and injuring several others. The attack, which started on Saturday night, lasted up till the early hours of Sunday, with the bandits also rustling an unspecified number of cattle. The Commissioner for Local Government and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, confirmed the attack. He, however, said he was yet to get more details on the incident. According to a source, the communities that were ransacked by the gunmen are 8 in number. The gunmen were said to have killed 1 person each at Ebo, Safa, Gadabi, Sogi, and Kanko. Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Police Command says it has uncovered a kidnapper's den in a forest within the Kuje area of Abuja. The command spokesperson, DSP Josephine Ade, said operatives of the command rescued at least 11 abductees kidnapped in Gwadgwada community, Kuje area of the territory, on February 17th. The PPR noted that the operation, which occurred on Saturday, followed prompt response by the command towards a report that some members of the community were whisked into the forest by unscrupulous and misguided criminal elements. She said the Commissioner of Police, Federal Capital Territory Command, CP Babaji Sunday, had directed the operatives to further comb the forest to arrest the criminal elements and rescue other victims. The Nigerian Defense Academy, the NDA, has commissioned 200 to defend and protect the territorial integrity of the country. Magashi also assured of government's commitment to supporting the Nigerian armed forces in discharging their constitutional responsibilities.
To assure Nigerians that the armed forces will never relent in its effort to confront all these threats to our nation. We will remain committed to build an armed forces that will be the pride of nations and capable of defending the country against both internal and external threats. Under the leadership of the President, we have witnessed an unprecedented growth of the armed forces, including the acquisition of more equipment and capacity building. All these have impacted positively on the performance of troops in various theaters of operations.
The cadets were later decorated with their new ranks and awards were presented to deserving cadets. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has enjoined personnel to develop spirit of professionalism in accomplishing assigned mission within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria. General Yahya said this during the closing ceremony of the first Chief of Army Staff Combat Platoon Cross Country Championship 2022. Details in this report.
Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, who was represented by the Corps Commander of the Signal of the Nigerian Army, Major General Abiodun Owolabi, said it is pertinent for personnel to step up all aspects of combat readiness in line with global best practices. General Owolabi said this will effectively assist them to confront contemporary adversaries and carry along other personnel in the platoon. He added that the championship will go a long way in refocusing the prospects of the Nigerian Army personnel towards capacity building.
Let me urge you all to note the objectives of this championship, which, among others, include improvements in your combat proficiency, leadership skills, organizational ability, fitness and endurance, teamwork, and above all, esprit de corps.
Speaking on the security situation in the country, Major General Owolabi urged everyone to be more conscious and support the agencies in the area of dissemination of information. The chairman of the local organizing committee, Brigadier General Ernest Orakwe, said that the competition is designed to strengthen troops' endurance to enable them thrive in the current difficult operating environment.
Thanks to you for your show of professionalism, esprit de corps, and sportsman spirit throughout the competition.
In any competition, there must be a winner and a loser. For the winning formation, I once again say a big congratulations to you. And to the losing team, I want to encourage you to go back to the drawing board and make adequate preparation in order to excel during the remaining training activities.
Highlights of the event included presentation of trophies to the overall winner, the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, and 2 Division, which emerged second, and the 6th Division in third place.
Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, thousands of Nigerians attempting to leave Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities are stuck at the border with Poland. According to some of the people currently facing the experience, officials of the Nigerian embassy promised to come to their rescue, but have not been forthcoming on their words. Videos on social media on Friday and Saturday showed Nigerians calling for help, stranded and cold in the border the Eastern European country shares with Poland. Well, meanwhile, the federal government has announced that free visa arrangements are in place for Nigerians arriving from Ukraine through the borders in Romania and Hungary. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Gabriel Aduda, made this known in a statement on Sunday. Aduda also said due to the challenges faced by Nigerians crossing into countries bordering Ukraine, especially the Polish border, the government has arranged accommodation and feeding pending evacuation. INEC has shifted the 2023 presidential election from February 18th to February 25th, 2023. This is following the late signing of the Electoral Act by President Muhammadu Buhari. This was announced by the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, at a news conference in Abuja on Saturday. He said the presidential and National Assembly elections will now be held on Saturday, February 25th, 2023. Governorship and state houses of assembly elections will be held on March 11th, 2023. Yakube explained that the new date is to allow for conformity with the provisions of the electoral laws, which stipulate that election notice be published at least 260 days to the elections. He also said the electoral guidelines will also be published in due course.
Publication of notice of election, Monday, 28th January 2022. Conduct of party primaries, including the resolution of disputes arising from them, Monday, 4th April 2022 to Friday, 3rd June 2022. 3. Submission of nomination forms to INEC via the INEC portal for Presidential and National Assembly election, 9 a.m. on Friday, 10th June 2022 to 6 p.m. on Friday, 17th June 2022. 4. Submission of nomination forms via INEC online portal for governorship and state assembly elections, 9 a.m. on Friday, 1st July 2022 to 6 p.m. on Friday, 15th July 2022. 5. Commencement of campaign by political parties for presidential and national assembly elections, Wednesday, 28th September 2022. 6. Commencement of campaign by political parties for governorship and state assembly elections, Wednesday, 12th October 2022. 7. Last day of campaign by political parties for presidential and national assembly elections, midnight on Thursday, 23rd February 2023.
The All Progressive Congress governors will meet with President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday to discuss the 2023 general elections timeline released by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The source within the fold of Progressive Governors Forum revealed that the meeting is necessitated by closeness of the date for the party's national convention and the INEC timeline for primaries ahead of the 2023 polls. APC National Convention is fixed for March 26th by the party's Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, the CECPC, at the Eagle Square, Abuja. The announcement means the ruling APC effectively has only 7 days after the convention for commencement of primaries. The development has created tension within the party, with many worried that the APC would be racing against time to meet up with the two important exercises. Secretary of APC Caretaker Committee, Senator John James Akpodu-Dedehehe, declined comment on the development when contacted. And ahead of the 2023 general elections, a former Chief Press Secretary to Governor Samuel Ortom, Seva Akase, has unveiled his manifesto christened Benwe's Wealth Template. The unveiling of the manifesto and campaign website also featured the commissioning of the Seva Akase Governorship Organization corporate headquarters in Makurdi, the state capital. The former Chief Press Secretary to Governor Ortom, who is contesting under the People's Democratic Party, said his vision for Benue State is encapsulated in the Benwe's Wealth Template.
The future of Benue State is not of rest, but of hard work and commitment. This is what I promise you today. I do not claim to have all the ideas to drive this vision, but I have the ability to harness the best ideas and channel them for the development of their state. If given the mandate to lead the state in 2023, I will be your governor. No matter where you come from, no matter which language you speak, which religion you belong to, or which political party you support, God did not make a mistake when He brought us together as Steve, Idoman, Ikere, Etulo, Juku, and several other ethnic groups who make up a state, or who make up the state called Benue.
Earlier, the Director General of Seva Akase Governorship Campaign Organization, Comrade Utan Tahide, called on Benue people to elect Akase, who he noted has all it takes to offer people-oriented leadership.
The TV acts as a campaign organization in its ingenuity and creativity in setting the pace for others to follow. So I'm sure in the next few days and next few weeks, you see other people hurriedly put together a manifesto and a website and attempt to launch to achieve what we are trying to achieve today.
The People's Democratic Party in Imo State has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to cancel the Ngo Okpala House of Assembly by-election that was held on Saturday, alleging massive rigging and intimidation by the All Progressive Congress (APC). Speaking during a press conference at the party headquarters in Owerri, the state capital, the state chairman of the PDP, Charles Ugu, accused Sam Mbakwe Airport Road to thumbprint ballot papers and write results in favor of the APC.
Therefore, call on INEC, first, number one, to outrightly cancel the Saturday, February 26, 2022 by-election in Ngo Okpala, as any outcome from such barbaric invasion and warfare will only reflect the manipulations of Hope Uzodimma and his band of electoral fraudsters, and not the will of Ngo Okpala people. Two, we call on INEC to order an immediate recount of all the materials and votes and reconcile them with the Beavers data. We further call on INEC to direct its HOD operations, Fidelis Uguru, to ensure the security and safety of all the materials and data deployed in the Ngo Okpala by-election, to ensure a thorough recount, as any story of loss of material or destruction of materials will prove ongoing suspicions of compromise by the Commission.
That is very funny. If any PDP person or group of persons from PDP will make that kind of statement. If you see the reflection of the results, you can see that the gap is not much. We led them with about 2,000 votes. They had, in the aggregate, it's just about 2,000 and a fraction. Such a keenly contested election, and with such results, we tell you that it wasn't business as usual. So this hue and cry of intimidation, violence, snatching of ballot boxes and all the rest of them, it doesn't lead them to anywhere. For me, I describe it as a lullaby of somebody or people who have lost an election.
On the way from politics, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has seized at least 649,300 capsules of tramadol, totaling 225 milligram and 809,850 euros in Lagos. This is contained in a statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA, Femi Babafemi. Babafemi said that the seized cash and drugs were among consignments from Pakistan, Australia and Italy intercepted at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. He said that various quantities of heroin and other illicit drugs were also blocked from being exported to the US, the UK and Canada by the operatives of the agency. He also said that the tramadol capsules weighing 460.95 kg were exported to Pakistan from Pakistan via Addis Ababa through Ethiopian airline on Wednesday, February 16th. Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Kevin Tucker, and the Canadian Navy say they are happy to partner Nigeria in patrolling our waters for safety measures and security. This cooperation is particularly necessary in the Gulf of Guinea to achieve common goals. This was part of the deliberations during their visit to the Western Naval Command headquarters. They were on a courtesy visit to Flag Officer Commanding Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai. PlusTvAfrica's defense correspondent Destiny Momo has more.
This visit of the Canadian Navy to the Western Naval Command was auspicious as it marks 60 years of close relations which began in 1962. They will also patrol our waters and partner the Nigerian Navy in conducting exercise Obangame process. The Canadian High Commissioner and Canadian Naval Commander spoke on this mission to Nigeria.
They are in the region to participate in the exercise Obangame Express, alongside the Nigerian Navy and regional and international partners. And the purpose of the exercise is to strengthen cooperation in order to improve maritime safety and security in the Gulf of Guinea, where, of course, Nigeria plays a key leadership role. I think, the value of these operations, these exercises, is to, improve communication between naval allies, naval partners, so that we can better work together, so that we can share lessons learned, and really build a stronger foundation for addressing some of those peace and security challenges that we face.
The jetty in Apapa is being greeted by a large contingent of the Nigerian Navy personnel, and then being treated to O Canada played by the Nigerian Navy Band was a special treat. This is our our third stop in our deployment so far to West Africa, and by far this is the warmest and most elaborate welcome we've received. So I'm very pleased to be here in Lagos, Nigeria, with my counterparts in HMCS Moncton and our task force of 90 sailors in the 2 ships.
The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command spoke on the importance of this Navy-to-Navy and nation-to-nation exercise.
So the visit today is for us to foster that relationship that has been existing in the past 60 years and to see how we can take it to better levels. We've been existing and cooperating together. Have we done well? It's a yes. Can we do better? It's another yes. And that's why they are here. We'll continue to interact with them. The Defense Attaché here and His Excellency, the High Commissioner, will continue to interact and see how our navies can get the best out of each other.
The courtesy visit did not come to an end without the usual practice of gift exchange. This visit is from 25th to 28th February as the Nigerian Navy plans on having more Navy-to-Navy trainings and interactions. Once the seas are safe, it brings about enhanced economies among nations. Destiny Momo, PlusTvAfrica. As victims of the late Friday night fire at the Agonyi-Ironsi section of the popular Ladipo market count their losses, some are alleging arson. PlusTvAfrica spoke to some of them and a business developer who underscored the need for the government and other well-meaning Nigerians to help shore up the losses.
Desperately, some of the victims were seen scrambling through the rubbles in a last-minute effort to salvage whatever they could find. This particular building gave way to the impact of the inferno as flames of smoke hovered in the air. As we dug through, there were claims of criminal intent as allegations of arson resounded. However, chairman of the Agonyi-Ironsi market dismissed these claims, saying investigations are ongoing by the authorities.
Investigation is ongoing. We can never say for sure or ascertain the true picture of what happened and the cause of this fire. We are still investigating. But I know from our statistics, the building that brought by fire is one of the biggest buildings that have about 150 shops. And the other building that was also involved is containing about 50 to 60 shops. So we are talking about the range of over 200 shops. Yes, and I'll tell you, billions of naira was lost. It was a great disaster.
Many shops are affected. Like, it's almost countable. I mean, it's almost more than 200 shops affected. Building is collapsing. Everywhere is collapsing. So it's almost countable. You cannot count. It's uncountable.
This is not just born intentionally because we don't have electricity here. There was no light here. There's no light here. There was no light here. There was no light here.
We caught up with the business developer, Professor Chris Imomolen, who harped on the need to set up effective fire service around markets and other public places. He also promised to give succor to the victims.
Yeah, fire incident is one incident that one cannot foresee. But and again, because of the way the country has been built, it has to do with a lot of foundational issues. If you say, oh, they should have been fire conscious, they should have been this, that is not the solution. You know, many persons have, but the system we run in Nigeria is one that everybody's on his own. And they need to, but again, I think the traders by themselves need to be cautioned, and the security who are here need to be cautioned. There's need, again, maybe for detective system to have averted, because if that has happened, the losses wouldn't have gotten to this level.
Over 200 shops were affected in the inferno.
The wife of the Ekiti State Governor, B.C. Fayemi, has advocated for the mass production of local fabrics to help boost local markets, raise standards of Nigerian-made products and create jobs. Fayemi, who presided over an event in Ado-Ekiti to promote the mixed use of a special fabric called ashoke, commonly used by the Yorubas for top-grade events, believes the inability to access needed funds and business support facilities may be factors hindering the expansion of local production of fabrics and other businesses in Nigeria. The governor's wife aligns with the concept of the program initiators in promoting the combination of the unique fabric with other materials, an idea she described as ashoke plugging. The convener of the event says technological advancement will go a long way in assisting youth in entrepreneurship to meet higher production demands, calling on the government to look more in the direction of assisting youth to get their businesses to higher levels.
Do we have the wherewithal to keep up the demand? Every weekend there is a funeral. Every weekend there is a wedding. Every weekend there is the birthday party of an 80-year-old or 90-year-old. And there is a demand for ashoke. And if we are not able to keep up with the demand, that is what then drives us to start importing from China, because it can be mass produced. So I'm deeply concerned about the issue of how we are going to be able to keep up with the demand. If we don't have control over the value chain of production for ashoke, if we keep depending on it being brought in from Quara is depending on it being brought in from somewhere, then we need to be able to do something about it to ensure that it is sustainable.
Nigerians lament the high cost of foodstuffs, or that's in our street views.
It's just way beyond everybody right now. The hike in prices of goods and commodities, so high. I don't even know how the common man, even the average human being, is really trying to fend. I really don't know. It's way too much. See, just a crayfish that we're buying like 1,008. Now it's 4,500. Some people are saying 5,000 naira. I don't know. Even those are in fixed salaries. I don't know how they are coping.
It's too cost. No be only meat you cost, fish you cost, like everything they cost for Nigeria now. Nothing I want to talk again. May go help us do it, may be better. We will sell, like I said, they know they see money chop again. But lie. Anything no dey for this. We all they manage. No be our fault.
Everything is higher than before. If you buy something today, tomorrow you may not see it like that. If you ask of anything today, if they tell you it's 500 naira, by tomorrow if you be there, they will tell you 1,800. That is it. So there is, everything is high now. We are begging them all to look after us. There is no money outside. If you don't have money now, to buy something now is a problem.
It's beyond repair, because when you are coming from north, I'm a Muslim. If I travel to border to buy cow, you understand me? The cow I was buying 250 naira before, is now 300 something thousand. Automatically, how do you think they can manage to get it? They will like to collect their own money. You understand me? And not only that.
Still ahead, plane with 14 people on board crashes in the Comoros. Details when we return.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risk. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Welcome back. You're still watching news now on PlusTvAfrica. Rescuers in Comoros have scrambled to find any survivors after a plane carrying 14 people crashed in the Indian Ocean archipelago. Airline AB Aviation said its small Cessna plane disappeared from the radar about 2.5 kilometers from its destination during its flight between the capital Moroni and the city of Fomboni on the island of Moheli. The Comorian government said the 12 passengers were Comorian and that the 2 pilots were Tanzanians. Senior police officer Abdul Kader Mohammed said 3 speedboats had been sent to the estimated crash site, which allowed them to collect debris from the plane and objects belonging to the passengers. Burkina Faso's military leadership says it is considering a 30-month transition period to restore constitutional order following a coup last month, according to a drafted proposal. Africa's 4th biggest gold producer became the 3rd West African country to succumb to a coup in the past year when Moutinho's soldiers toppled then-President Roch Kabore on January 24th. The Patriotic Movement for Preservation and Safeguarding, spearheaded by Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, accused Kabore of failing to tackle a sprawling Islamist insurgency. This week, a commission charged with drafting a proposal for the country's return to democracy suggested an interim government of no more than 20 members that will be in power for 2.5 years. Local medics say dozens of protesters have been injured in protests demanding full civilian rule in Sudan. In a statement, the Central Committee of Sudanese Doctors said 34 protesters sustained injuries during Saturday's rallies, including 5 who were violently beaten by the police. Thousands demonstrated in the capital Khartoum and the central city of Madani to demand the handover of power to civilians. Sudan has witnessed protests since October 25th in response to exceptional measures taken by Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, most notably the imposition of a state of emergency and the dissolution of Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok's transitional government, a move described by politicians as a military coup. The United Nations Integrated Transition Assistance Mission in Sudan says it is working with regional partners to form a common strategy for Sudan's political process. In a statement, the association said it postponed a press conference scheduled for Sunday to allow further coordination with regional partners on a common strategy and the design of the next phase of a political process for Sudan. On February 10th, it said it finalized talks with the different Sudanese groups with a view to reaching a political settlement to the country's crisis. Last month, the mission's head, Volker Perthes, announced the launch of UN-facilitated consultations among Sudan's political process in an effort to safeguard the country's democratic transition. And the Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered his military to put Russia's nuclear deterrence forces on high alert in response to aggressive statements by NATO countries. The order came at a meeting between the president, the defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, and the chief of the general staff of the armed forces of Russia, Valery Gerasimov. It is not immediately clear what the special mode of combat duties entails. Putin has warned foreign countries not to interfere in his invasion of Ukraine, saying it could lead to consequences they have never seen. He has positioned anti-air missiles and other advanced missile systems in Belarus and deployed his fleet to the Black Sea in an effort to prevent a Western intervention in Ukraine. But Ukraine says Russian President Vladimir Putin's order to put Russian nuclear forces on high alert was calculated to put pressure at the start of talks, but that Kyiv would not be cowed. Speaking at a briefing, Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba also said Russia had dropped its preconditions for talks after suffering military setbacks. Ukraine will listen to what Russia had to say. Well, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has called Russian President Vladimir Putin's threat of using nuclear defense systems dangerous rhetoric. After Putin's remarks, Russia's nuclear weapons were set to be prepared for increased readiness for a possible launch. Last week, the Russian president also warned that countries that interfere with Russian actions will face consequences they have never seen. Talks at a venue on the capital as thousands made their way to the Brandenburg Gate in central Berlin near the Russian embassy. The crowd of protesters bearing signs along with Ukrainian and European Union flags extended from the Victory Column in the heart of the capital. The protest comes as Russia's attack on Ukraine entered its fourth day, triggering 3 sanctions packages from Germany and its Western allies and pushing Berlin to shift its decades-long policy of not exporting arms to conflict zones. And British Petroleum, BP, has announced it will offload its share in Russian oil firm Rosneft. BP owns a 19.75% share in the firm, but will relinquish the stake following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The company has come under severe pressure to surrender its share following the invasion of Ukraine. In a statement, BP's chair, Helge Lund, said Russia's attack on Ukraine is an act of aggression, which is having tragic consequences across the region. The British company has operated in Russia for over 30 years, working with brilliant Russian colleagues. However, this military action represents a fundamental change. Former American President Donald Trump condemned on Saturday Russia's invasion of Ukraine and said he was praying for Ukrainians, switching tone from his praise for Russian President Vladimir Putin earlier this week. Trump's remark at the CPAC conservative gathering in Florida came hours after the United States and allies announced sweeping new sanctions that will kick some Russian banks off the main global payment systems and limit the ability of Russia's central bank to support the ruble. Addressing an adoring crowd at an event that outed itself as the world's largest conservative gathering, Trump used his speech to bash Democratic President Joe Biden and again hint at a possible run for president in 2024.
The Russian attack on Ukraine is appalling. It's an outrage and an atrocity that should never have been allowed to occur. It never would have occurred. We are praying for the proud people of Ukraine. God bless them all. God bless them all. They are indeed brave. As everyone understands, this horrific disaster would never have happened if our election was not rigged and if I was the president. Very simple. It wouldn't have happened. Under Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under Biden, Russia invaded Ukraine. I stand as the only president of the 21st century on whose watch Russia did not invade another country. We already know what the fate of America will be.
Iran says it will not accept any deadline set by the West to revive its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers and wants politically motivated claims by UN watchdog IAEA about Tehran's nuclear work to be dropped. Among sticking points in the indirect talks between Iran and the United States to revive the 2015 nuclear deal appear to be questions about uranium, traces found by the... Up next, Russian-Nigerian trade worth over $2 billion at risk. Well, that's in business news after this break.
How can we have peace without justice?
Plus Politics. It's not just another political conversation, it's about keeping you in the know. The relevant interviews, asking the tough questions to those that matter. Get the answers you need. Does it mean that the people who were injured, people who were shot at, those who were involved in that stampede are not going to get justice?
It is unfortunate, it is sad that we have a government of deaf and dumb.
Analysis from top experts.
The last election was not really an election.
We feel that Obasanjo has a very special place in his heart for hating Ijaw people.
I think it really boils down to two things. One, trust and accountability.
Plus Politics, every weeknight at 7 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
We're not getting it right in our homes. Parenting has gone wrong. I think if we're going to question the children, we need to question parents.
Nigerians, we've just lost our moral compass.
Yes.
We don't seem to know the difference between right and wrong.
Yes.
In my view, you don't become a good leader because you're in government. You must be a good follower. You must be a good leader from the bottom.
Elections are rigged all over the world. They're rigged. So Nigeria is not peculiar. And when you think that, oh, they're going to rig so it doesn't matter, then obviously they have the chance to do that.
We need, at this point, you see, there are a lot of people at the bottom who know what is right, but they don't do anything about it. They only complain. We need to start massing up such people. Forget, that's what I was talking about. We can't change the top if we don't start influencing our immediate environment. You who knows what is right.
Welcome to the business news. Trade between Nigeria and Russia valued over $2 billion is at risk as the war between Russia and Ukraine intensifies. Nigeria stands the risk of suffering from significant food shortage and up-peak food inflationary pressure following the war, which broke out last Thursday. The war started after President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, ordered the invasion of his troops into Ukrainian territories, thereby causing several casualties in the area, having clamped at Ukrainian borders for weeks. Russia happens to be a powerhouse in the global economy, being one of the largest exporter of crude product, coupled with its impact in the energy sector. Representing one of the biggest producer of natural gas in the world, Russia is also big on commodity export. Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the Federal Ministry of Health have highlighted the need for the harmonization of food safety and quality bill to safeguard public health and improve the acceptability of Nigerian food in global markets. The experts and stakeholders reviewed their position on the bill at a review and harmonization workshop for Food Safety Quality Bill 2019. The permanent secretary of the ministry, Mahmoud Maman, Food Safety Regulatory Approach, which presents significant challenges, including the problem of multi-jurisdiction that results in loose and the loss of consumer confidence, leading to rejection of Nigeria foods in international market. The International Monetary Fund says Nigeria's social safety net, which was created to support poor and vulnerable people in the country, suffers from limited coverage and weak targeting. The IMF said this in Nigeria's staff report for 2021, Article 5 consultation report. The Washington-based lender said Nigeria needs to improve coverage and efficiency of its social assistance program. As of 2018, around a fifth of the vulnerable population received some kind of social assistance, with a small fraction receiving cash transfer. The fund recommended a cumulative increase in social spending by 1% of the gross domestic product for 2022 to 2026. And that's the business news. Many thanks for watching. I am Messi Bobo.
Up next is entertainment news.
Singer, lawyer, and social activist Folarin Falana, aka Falz, is of the opinion that Nigeria is moving backwards because adequate attention is not paid to the development of young people. The Bob Daddy rapper stated this in an interview with the Legal Avenue podcast hosted by Lola OJ. Falz also stated that Nigeria was stuck despite the technological advancement in other nations. He added, "If one is not in tune with what is happening globally, how can one flow with the rest of the world? Do you know the kind of technological advancements the rest of the world is making? We are far behind, yet some people are saying they don't want the TikTok generation to lead." 2 years after former studio executive and producer Harvey Weinstein was convicted on multiple counts of rape and sexual assault, Oscar season has changed for the better, at least according to three-time Academy Award nominee Jessica Chastain. During Variety's Awards Circuit podcast, Chastain chose not to mention Weinstein by name, but implied that the Weinstein Company mega producer had a huge hand in the toxic Hollywood culture around awards season campaigning. Weinstein is rumored to have shut down awards buzz for Chastain's turn in Catherine Bigelow's 2012 film Zero Dark 30. Bigelow allegedly turned down Weinstein as a producer for the film, per The Hollywood Reporter, Zero Dark 30, when one went on to receive 5 Oscar nominations, including Chastain for Best Actress and Bigelow for Best Director, as well as Best Picture, but won only for Best Sound Editing. The European Broadcasting Union says Russia will no longer be allowed to participate in this year's Eurovision Song Contest. The EBU, which produces the event, said Russia's inclusion could bring the competition into disrepute in light of the unprecedented crisis in Ukraine. Russia launched an attack on its neighbor Ukraine in the early hours of Thursday. Western governments have ramped up international sanctions in response. Just 24 hours ago, the contest had said Russia would be allowed to compete, so this is a rapid change in stance for the EBU. It follows the announcement that football's 2022 Champions League final would be played in Paris after Russia was stripped of the match following the invasion of Ukraine.
And the best in sports is next.
Ethiopia's Yelemzerf Yehwalo has smashed the women's 10-kilometer road record with a time of 29 minutes and 14 seconds in the mixed race at the World Athletics Label Road Race in Castellón, Spain on Sunday. The 22-year-old shaved 24 seconds off the previous mark of 29 minutes and 38 seconds set by Bahrain's Kalkidan Gezegner, also born in Ethiopia last year. Yehwalo broke the half-marathon world record last year by 19 seconds, although the time was not ratified by World Athletics as the course was 54 meters short. Vladimir Putin's role as honorary president and ambassador of the International Judo Federation, IJF, has been suspended. The sport's governing body made the announcement on its website and on Twitter on Sunday in light of the ongoing war conflict in Ukraine. On Friday, the IJF cancelled the judo event that it was due to hold in Russia in May. And Chelsea FC owner Roman Abramovich has handed over the affairs of the club to trustees of Chelsea's charitable foundation. This comes amid UK sanctions against Russian entities after the invasion of Ukraine. Abramovich is a Russian oligarch, one of the groups targeted by Western sanctions. There had been uncertainty over Abramovich's continued control of one of UK's most successful clubs amid the crisis. It is understood Abramovich took the decision in order to protect Chelsea from reputational damage as war rages in Ukraine. Marcelo Bielsa has been sacked by Leeds United after a run of poor form that saw his side suffer several heavy defeats. The 66-year-old Argentine, appointed in June 2018, lives with the Whites 2 points above the relegation zone. Under Bielsa, Leeds finished 9th last season on their return to the Premier League after a 16-year absence. But Saturday's 4-0 defeat by Tottenham meant they had lost their past 4 games by an aggregate score of 17-2.
And the main news again. Bandits have killed 10, kidnapped several others in Kaduna State as over 100 bandits stormed Niger community. Burkina Faso junta has considered 30-month return to democracy. And President Putin has put nuclear forces on high alert, escalating tensions. Well, that's the news now. For more stories, please follow us at PlusTvAfrica on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica and PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. I am Maureen Menon Mwezigwe. Thanks for watching.